What's up, guys? Hope you're doing good today. This is another video on book cover design with Joshua Jadon. If you haven't checked out my website, check out joshuajadon.com. That is my book cover design website. So let's just dive right into it. What makes book cover design so awesome? Well, I think first off, book cover design is one of those things where, it's never going to be consistently the same, and that's really why I like doing book covers, because one, every cover I design is different. Like, I've never done a cover that looks exactly the same. Even if it's in a series and looks similar, it's not identical. And plus, I'm still having fun, and we're just creating book covers here. At the end of the day, we're just creating good art, and your readers are going to see that. So as long as you're standing out, your readers gonna be like, damn, that's somebody I want to pay attention to. That author has a good book, and I'm gonna buy that book because that book looks sweet. That's the reaction I want readers to have when they see book covers. And I don't even care what the author thinks, because like, the author should already want readers to pick up your book. But for me, the pressure's on me. You know what I mean? So as a designer, it's like I gotta do everything I gotta do to make covers like that turn out eye-catching. And that's just a 3D rendered version after we were finished. So what's my drive? Okay, well, one, I don't like things, like I said, to look the same. Two, I think it's just like, my drive for creating eye-catching covers really just comes from just the creation process, because like, you don't know what a cover's gonna look like until you do the work, until you get into doing the work, and until you start peeling the layers of the onion back and seeing how this thing's actually gonna work. There's more to it. Like on this cover, for example, she said she wanted 2 moons at the top, and you know what? I went ahead, I got kind of a sun reflection there, but I went ahead and added those 2 moons. And then she described, she was like, I want a black castle with like a little bit of green on this mountain background. And that's all photo manipulation. So I think that if you don't know what photo manipulation is, that's what it is. So, okay, it's kind of hard to zoom in on my computer screen, but you can see that castle in that background. Those are not part of the same picture. Neither is the moon. So combining all those together, you get a book cover design, or something that's pretty, good looking, hopefully. And that's just my process. You have illustrators too, and I can do a little bit of illustration, but it's not my focus. I really like to just do photo manipulation, because I think you can get some pretty cool covers with that. And plus, it's like, I use Photoshop, so Photoshop's kind of the only thing I really want to continue to use, because I think Photoshop's always going to be there, and it's like the most advanced and the best graphic design tool I know of, with every feature that I can possibly imagine to create any possible effect there is on the computer. I just think you can't go wrong with Photoshop, and I think that's probably why they priced it at $600, which seems like a ridiculous price. Another thing with your book cover, make sure your spine width and everything is in alignment, because if your print book is messed up, your readers are gonna go, your book's messed up, that doesn't look professional, I don't want it. Like, they're literally not gonna want your book. So make sure when you do finalize everything that your page count is correct, because your page count is what's going to determine your spine width, and if that's off, like we said, shit's going to be off, and your cover is just not going to really be what you want it to be. And I think everybody wants a cover that's like, dang, that's a good cover, or just like something that, like, where you look at something, you got to look again, you got to do a double take. I think if you can double take your readers with your cover, or even just single take them, which, they look and they're like, that's the freaking book that I want. I think if you could do that, you're going to be in a position to sell lots of books, and we all know that's what, authors want to do. I hope so, because I don't really see why you would not want to have a popular book if you're writing. Like, that makes sense to want to sell books, So I'm here talking about book cover design. I hope you guys are continuing to learn something from my videos. And yeah, well, what else can we talk about? I don't want to make this video too short. How long is it? I gotta check the time. Sorry, I gotta push you up here. Okay, so we're at 4 minutes right now. What's one more thing we could talk about? And let me get this book cover back up on the screen, because it always sparks some of my creative juice. And I think that one more thing, if you're not into designing book covers, okay, now I gotta go pick a different book cover. Hold on, I've got a list here. If you could see, I just kind of like to go, this one's cool, Blades of Blood. I know the name's kind of intense, but the cover turned out sweet. Sweet. I think when you can, find one thing on your cover, like one main element, and then really focus on that being the eye-catching part of your book cover, man, that almost looks 3D in there. Then you'll just be way better off with that. For this cover, it was just really a matter of finding a good font, adding a nice bevel to the font, giving everything a nice color, cutting this, the sword image out, and getting it on a nice black background, and just laying everything out. And to me, that's book cover design. If you can nail the process, you can nail a good cover. And if you can nail a good cover, you can have a good book that's published. And if you can have a good book that's published, well, you can be happy about the book you did publish and that you're on your way to becoming a bestseller. And if you're not, well, that does suck, but I think your aim should still be to become a bestseller, because if you published it, that's got to be the focus. I don't see why you wouldn't want that label. People are sometimes like, oh, authors claiming they're a bestseller with the label at the top. Well, if you make it to bestseller or any of your books, you do have the right to say at the top of your book, New York Times bestselling author or internationally bestselling author or whatever you want. And I think it makes you look way better, and it's accurate, and you might as well use the title if you get it. It's like, if you get a certain ranking somewhere, I don't know, I could just think of ranking from like video games I've played in the past, but let's just say you get a certain ranking. That's what being a bestseller and being able to call yourself a best-selling author is like. And you can put that on your Twitter, on your Facebook, be like best-selling author of, or whatever it is. But you gotta be a bestseller. You gotta actually be on, the New York Times site or Barnes & Noble's bestseller section or Amazon's bestseller section or pretty much any bestseller section where you can have a legitimate reason to say, to add that to your book cover. So I think if you can add that to your book cover, that's a great thing. If you can't, some people do add stickers like, award winner, da-da-da, or maybe some other cool thing on their sticker. Pretty much anything you want, because the design is all in your hands, and that's the most beautiful part about book cover design is it's never going to be the same, and it's always going to be changing and developing and just moving forward, because I'm moving forward, so book cover design has to move forward, and that's just what we're doing here, So, hope you guys are having a great day. I will make sure to record another video, guys, for you soon here, probably tomorrow. I'm doing these, pretty much during the week. And then if we can get them in on the weekends, we will eventually start doing that. But yeah, this is Joshua Jadon checking out. I'm a book cover designer. If you haven't checked me out, like I said, check out my website, joshuajadon.com. The link is down below in the description. Make sure to like this video if you haven't liked it. And yeah, enjoy your night. Happy publishing. I will talk to you guys later. See ya.